This is a Wahl KM10 cordless clipper. It's just like the KM10, but it's cordless. This clipper right now is in need of attention. How do I know? Let your clipper tell you when it needs your help. Your clipper is going to let you know when it needs your attention. Let's turn it on. Do you hear that rattling? Sounds terrible, right? Can you imagine what that would sound like to a dog? Extremely annoying. And it's vibrating my hand. I don't know if you can see that. I can feel it in the clipper. This clipper's telling me I need some help here, Amy. There's only a couple things that you will ever need to replace on your clipper. One is the blade drive, which is this piece. And the other thing is the blade hinge assembly. The blade hinge assembly is what your blade sits on in your clipper. Sometimes this can just be loose and you may need to just adjust these two screws right here. And sometimes it gets worn and you need to replace it. Both parts are inexpensive. This is about a $12 fix. This is about a $3, $4 fix. We do have to take the clipper apart to fix it. This is my Wahl KM10 corded clipper. I want to show you what that same blade sounds like on a clipper that does not need its blade drive replaced. Seated on the hinge, turn it on. Hear the difference? Big difference. Let's go back to the one that needs the blade drive replaced. The KM cordless clipper. Remember, this one has a bad blade drive. Big difference. You first want to make sure if your clipper is a corded clipper that you unplug it. This is a cordless clipper, so it's unplugged. Then you want to remove your blade. Blade drive release, push forward with your thumbs, take the blade off. You want the blade off when you're going to do work. There are 3 screws on your Wahl KM10 and on most clippers, 3 or 4. There's 1, 2, 3. These bottom 2 you just merely have to loosen. This one you really want to take out. There it is. Now we can see that blade drive. We're just going to remove it off the pin. This is my replacement blade drive right here, and it comes with instructions. It's so easy, guys. Get the new one out, set it down. You want to position it the same way when it's laying here so that you know you're going to put it on correctly. We're just going to slide this guy off. There he is. And that's the way he goes in, and that's the way the new one needs to go on. There's a little hole right here. You put the pin in the hole, slide it all the way down. It needs to be seated properly. See that? And we're going to close this up. If this clipper is still making noise, then we may need to replace this blade hinge assembly. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right? Make sure your screws are tightened very well when you put your clipper back together. Don't strip your screws, but make sure that they are tightened properly. Vibration is not a friend to your clipper. Everything needs to be sealed up tightly. All your screws always need to be tightened up, including the screws on your blade hinge assembly, which this requires a different type of tool to get it off. Let's see if she works. Same blade, pop it on your blade hinge, turn your clipper on. It's still making noise. So we replaced the blade drive. Now we may need to replace that blade hinge assembly. Now there's one more thing that I'm going to try before I replace this blade hinge assembly because it feels good to me. One way to know if your blade hinge assembly needs replaced is if you can easily open and close this hinge, and I cannot. So that's telling me your blade hinge is probably okay. What I need to do, I need to tighten these screws. Perhaps they're just the tiniest bit loose, and that's causing this rattling and vibration. So let's find out. You are going to need a Torx 10 for the Wahl KM10 or the Wahl KM5. Let's see if these need tightened. Oh, there's play. I'm going to tighten it. I don't want to strip it. This is a Torx bit, so I can get some good torque on it. I'm going to tighten that down. It's tight. That was loose. That was probably the problem. So is this one. How does this happen? Vibration of the clipper. This clipper is a machine, man. It works hard. Let's see if that worked. We're gonna put the same blade on, pop it on there, turn your clipper on. Holy, come on. Guys, I don't have to replace the blade hinge assembly on this Wahl Km10, and you wouldn't have to do it often. That is not something that needs replaced often. This blade release and the blade hinge is all one component. I have a replacement right here. In fact, I have several of them on hand in case I need them. This is not something you often have to replace. Another way you can tell is if you can easily push your clipper off the hinge while it's on. I cannot. That tells me my blade hinge is solid. If I could push this and it would release without having to use the lever to release it, then my blade hinge is weak. That's not the case here. We got a good working clipper now, guys. We replaced the blade drive and we tightened the screws on the blade hinge assembly. If you needed to replace your blade hinge assembly, I have linked where you get the part, and each clipper is different, so make sure that you get the right blade hinge assembly and release lever for your clipper. And I've also linked a video below that shows you exactly how to change this if you need to. Sometimes when you're clipping along, when you put your clipper down or you're handling your clipper, you will accidentally close this lever. Now I can't get my blade on, and I also can't get this open, can I, with my fingers, because it's a very strong part. It's made to be strong, so it can hold this clipper in place throughout your grooming sessions. Get a flathead screwdriver, gently at the top, lift it back. Proceed with your clipping. What blade drives cannot be replaced? This is a difference in clippers. This is an A5 detachable blade clipper. This is a 4-in-1 adjustable blade clipper. The blade adjusts like this. Completely different clipper, completely different design. What's the difference in the blade drives on these two clippers? A lot. The blade drive in our 4-in-1 and 5-in-1 clippers is a simple shear pin. The blade drive in our detachable blade clippers is solid. It's stronger. Everything about the build of this clipper is stronger than this clipper. These clippers get worked really hard. That's why I tell you guys often to just buy the detachable blade clipper, whether it's a Wahl, whether it's a Joy Z detachable blade clipper, also known as A5 clipper style. Andis, AGC, Heininger, those are detachable blade clippers. They all do make 5-in-1 clippers, yes. You want to make sure you own a detachable blade clipper that will get you through any job, including sanitary and paw pads, because you're going to go for a 10 blade in those areas. Clearly, there is a difference in the design of these two styles of clippers. A lot of people feel like they want to go for this to do all the work. It doesn't compare to this clipper. That's why there's a big difference in price. You can see with your own eyes the structure, the build, the design of these two clippers, which one is made to last and perform like a workhorse. It's your A5 clipper. With these adjustable blade clippers, none of these parts are replaceable. The only two parts we really have to replace on our A5 clippers are the blade drive and the blade hinge assembly. None of these parts are replaceable on our 5-in-1 or 4-in-1 clippers. These do hold up a long time, I will say that. I'm trying to explain to you the differences in these two types of clippers. You cannot replace anything on this except for replace it with a new blade. You can replace the charging stand that it sits on. That's it. With this guy, you can maintain him and keep him going for years and years and years throughout your lifetime. You can keep this clipper running if you maintain it properly.
If you'd like to keep this learning going right now, you might want to click on one of these videos. I've chosen these because I feel like they would be great follow-up videos for this one and continue to help you learning how to groom dogs. Go ahead, click on it, and I'll see you there. Thank you for watching this video.